Hello, I'm Lina Swalem. I'm the director of Bye Taberias, which is a documentary film that is retracing 4 generations of Palestinian women of my family. I think it wasn't so much a discussion rather than a need to open the door. Um, it took quite a it took us time to accept that we were both going on this path. It was also difficult for me as for her to open this door, but I was trying to make her trust me and understand that it was vital for me to understand and know more about her path and the paths of the women in our family, so I could myself find my place in this family and in the story of this lineage of women. And I think when we started, we were at the same time excited to go on this road together, but very frightened. So there's some steps where I would think, why am I doing this? Or she would say, why are we doing this? But finally, I think it was important for both of us. But it took more than just one conversation. It was an ongoing discussion to understand why we're doing this and why it was important to continue.
So, hi, my name is Hayam Abbas. I'm Lina's mom. And I, for one time, not acting really in a movie, but being myself, because Lina interrogates a little bit my past and my life through her documentary. As Lina said, it's really not a matter of discussion. It was a matter of doing this movie for a goal, for a sake, for to maybe to register the memory of these women and their journeys in life in a eternal way somehow, because a lot of a lot of people in struggles, a lot of women specifically in different combats in life, just like, whatever their fights have been or whatever their roads have been in their or journeys, they just like get forgotten completely in history. And I think it was very important to realize, despite maybe the fear, despite the fact that maybe you feel a little bit like, I don't want anybody to get into my personal life and my privacy in a way, to know that these journeys could be just like registered in history, because they are part of a collective uh, memory of a lot of other women in different generations that just had to fight for their survival or for them being who they wanted to be, despite all the difficulties, political or social, that could surround them. I don't know really, like, to be honest with you, and without any pretension whatsoever. I don't think like it is up to this movie or to any movie to make me realize, that the journey has been not easy, but it has been, you know, like in a way very rewarding to me. But like seeing that my daughter is getting into into like a very important story of my life, and have her as well tell this story in such a intelligent, very refined, very respectful way to these women, um, makes me proud, makes me. In fact, the movie is about transmission in a way, and I think the fact that um, Lina is my daughter, I feel like maybe I succeeded something in my transmission, to her, um, and have her share like my profession in a very very personal way, because it's her way, it's not mine. It just makes me really very proud as a mom as well, to know that now she has her own identity, and and she has her own identity in a very strong way, where she could just like achieve and fulfill her journey herself now in the way she sees it right for herself.
The only man in the team is the producer. All the rest are women. um, but yeah, for me, it was really important to be surrounded during the writing and the making of the film, because it's so personal and so emotional, and it's quite intense stories that I needed to be surrounded by people that understood me, but also could help me have a bit of distance, so I could still keep my role of the director and not always be overwhelmed by my position also as the daughter or the granddaughter. And so I decided to work with Nadine Naous, who is a Lebanese Palestinian filmmaker and writer, and Gladys Joujou, who is a Lebanese editor. And they both live in Paris. They both know me since many years. Gladys edited my first film, There Algeria. Nadine had co-written a film with my mother many years ago, and she's known me since I was young, and she knows my family. So I needed to be surrounded by creative people that also knew me, so that they could understand what I wanted to do without, you know, without being out of line, because it's sometimes very tricky. And I needed people that could understand even my fears and my blockage, and could help me go beyond all that with kindness. So these two women were really for me vital for the making of the film. We wrote the film together. The editor was involved in the writing since the beginning also, and Nadine wrote with me everything. And they were with me last week in Venice when we world premiered the film, and we were all together, and it was really, really amazing. And then for the choice of the DOP, I was looking for a woman. It took quite a while to find a woman DOP from the region that spoke Arabic that could come. And it was vital to have a woman because I was filming my aunts and I wanted them to be comfortable because they are talking about intimate things. So I wanted them to really feel at ease. And it was a great choice to have this Frida Marzouk DOP with me there. When you are saying it this way, it made me feel of maybe something that I had in mind while making the film. I was so fascinated by the stories of the women in my family that preceded me, on how they have been able to influence the world around them despite everything they went through. And I always thought, would I have been able to do the same, to survive what they went through between displacement, war, losing everything, being separated from their family, and being able to raise children, transmit to them values of forgiveness, love, despite the fact that they didn't have that. So when I was making the film and I was going through difficult moments, I was always thinking, this is nothing compared to all they went through. And my goal here is to capture their story, make them exist, and transmit them, because they have transmitted so much to us despite everything. So it was like I was always trying to, have this objective in mind, which helped me continue.
I would add just like a little thing to that as well, because it's really in the fabrication of like these scenes, because of course you go emotionally to places where it's really very, very tough. But I remember that for Lena, it wasn't about, provoking the tear in the audience. I think in the back of her mind, she really wanted this movie not to be over dramatic, basically, or pathos in a way, So wherever things went a little bit too far, she was able to kind of like, whisper in my ear that, just like return, right? Like, or just like restrain your emotion, or just like, let's make it more like, let's make it up to the audience to judge whether they should cry or not, or it's not about us crying, it's basically about us telling a story. So let's be beyond the emotion, or beyond like whatever could make you tear up, in order for the emotion really to exist in maybe in a better way, and have the audience being the judge of it, not us provoking it in a way.